Have you ever heard of a volcano so massive it doesn't even have a peak? Forget what you think you know about volcanoes. Today we're journeying to the sun-drenched coast of Italy, to the beautiful city of Naples, which sits in the shadow of the infamous Vesuvius. But what if I told you the greater threat, the real sleeping giant, lies hidden in plain sight, right beneath the city's western suburbs? This is the story of Campi Flegrei, the fiery fields, a colossal supervolcano that has shaped history and could one day reshape our world. Unlike a typical cone-shaped volcano, Campi Flegrei is a caldera, a massive sunken cauldron left behind by an eruption so cataclysmic it caused the entire mountain to collapse. We're talking about a depression stretching over 12 kilometers across. Its last major event, the Campanian Ignimbrite eruption around 40,000 years ago, was one of the largest in European history. It spewed so much ash and sulfur into the atmosphere that it triggered a volcanic winter, drastically altering the climate across the continent. To put it into perspective, this event was orders of magnitude larger than the eruption of Vesuvius that buried Pompeii. The ground you walk on in parts of Naples is literally the result of this ancient, world-changing blast. So if it's so huge, why isn't it the most famous volcano in the world? Because for centuries, its true nature was misunderstood. The Romans saw the bubbling mud pools and steaming vents and believed it to be the entrance to the underworld. Today, we know the truth is far more scientific and, arguably, more frightening. The entire area is alive, breathing with the pressure of the magma chamber miles below. And right now this giant is stirring in its sleep. The key phenomenon here is something called Bradyseism. It's a slow, rhythmic rising and falling of the ground, like the chest of a sleeping beast. In the town of Pozzuoli, right in the heart of the caldera, the effects are visible everywhere. Ancient Roman marketplaces that were once on the coast are now submerged, only to re-emerge as the ground lifts. In recent decades, this process has accelerated. Since 2005, the ground in some areas has risen by over a meter. Think about that. The earth is literally pushing upwards, causing buildings to crack and forcing evacuations. This upward movement is driven by a combination of gas building up from the magma below and the heating of underground water. It's like a pressure cooker without a reliable release valve. Accompanying this uplift are seismic swarms, clusters of hundreds, sometimes thousands of small earthquakes that rattle the region. While most are too weak to be felt, their increasing frequency and intensity are a clear signal that something is changing deep underground. Residents live with a constant, low-level tremor, a reminder of the power beneath their feet. So, what are the chances of a major eruption? That's the billion-dollar question that scientists at the Vesuvius Observatory, a branch of Italy's National Institute of Geophysics and Volcanology, or INGV, are working around the clock to answer. They have one of the most sophisticated volcano monitoring systems in the world. GPS stations track ground deformation to the millimeter. Seismometers listen for the faintest rumbles. Gas sensors sniff the air for changes in chemical composition, looking for telltale signs of magma moving closer to the surface. It's a constant battle of data collection and interpretation. The scientists are cautious. They emphasize that the current unrest doesn't automatically mean a cataclysmic eruption is imminent. The system could release pressure through smaller events or even settle back down. However, they've also raised the alert level. The ground is becoming weaker and more prone to fracturing, which could make it easier for magma to find a path to the surface. The uncertainty is the most challenging part. It's not a question of if it will erupt again, but when and at what scale. This brings us to the truly terrifying aspect of Campi Flegrei, its location. The caldera isn't in a remote, unpopulated area. It's directly under one of Europe's most densely populated urban centers. Over 3 million people live in and around Naples, with more than 500,000 living inside the caldera itself. This is a city steeped in history, culture, and life, all thriving on top of a geological time bomb. An eruption, even a moderate one, would be a humanitarian crisis of unimaginable proportions. The evacuation plan for the red zone, the area at highest risk, involves moving over 500,000 people in a matter of days. Imagine the logistics. Coordinating traffic, transport, and shelter for 500,000 panicked people, all while the ground is shaking and vents could be opening up. The scale is unprecedented in modern history. The historical significance of the area adds another layer of tragedy. Pozzuoli, Baia, and other towns within the caldera are treasure troves of Roman ruins, many of which would be instantly obliterated. The economic and cultural loss would be immeasurable, not just for Italy but for the world. We're talking about a region that is a cradle of civilization, a place where history is etched into the very landscape that threatens to destroy it. So what does the future hold for Naples and Campi Flegrei? For the people who live here, it's a strange reality. Life goes on. They go to work, raise their families, and enjoy the vibrant culture of their city, all with the background hum of a potential disaster. There's a certain resilience, a fatalism perhaps, that comes from living in the shadow of such immense power for generations. They trust the science, but they also understand that nature is unpredictable. The story of Campi Flegrei is not just about geology. It's about humanity's relationship with the planet. It's a stark reminder that we live on a dynamic and sometimes violent world, and that some of the most beautiful places on Earth are also the most dangerous. It highlights the incredible challenge of balancing modern urban life with the raw, untamable forces that lie just beneath the surface. As we continue to watch and learn from this sleeping giant, it forces us to confront difficult questions about risk, preparedness, and our own vulnerability. The fiery fields are restless, and the world is watching, hoping the giant continues to sleep. Thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into one of the world's most dangerous, yet fascinating, geological wonders. If you found this video interesting, please hit that like button and subscribe for more stories about our incredible planet. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Stay curious, and see you in the next video.